Welcome to Real World AIP, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you implement the autoimmune protocol or just to lead a healthier lifestyle, clean eating, whole foods, genetics testing, microbiome stuff. I'm Stacy, and today I want to talk about genetic testing. I have videos that have gone over microbiome testing. I've discussed allergy testing and things like that. Genetic testing, though, I've been wanting to do this video for like 2 years. And the reason that I haven't done it up until now is because I just didn't have a really good solid recommendation to give you guys about what path to take that wouldn't lead you into a lot of confusion. So when I started with my genetic testing, the first thing I did was 23andMe. They don't give you much information outside of some fluffy fun things about your ancestry and things like that. So I took the 23andMe, I uploaded it into Genetic Genie, I uploaded my results into Prometheus, and proceeded to wade through ridiculous amounts of information about things that I had never heard of in my life. You know, COMT and CYP450 and NAT2 and detoxification pathways and all kinds of stuff that takes hours and hours every week for week upon week and month upon month. And I did it because I'm a geek like that. I like kind of doing that stuff. But who the heck has time for that? Most of us, who has time for that? And even after all the research I had done, I also ended up landing on Amy Yasko's page, who I uploaded my, genetic data into her site. And what did it do? It spit out recommendations for every supplement under the freaking sun. It just seemed so credible, and she's a doctor and a genetic expert. And so I bought a bunch of supplements. I spent hundreds, maybe at least over $100 on supplements she recommended, only to find that they just made me feel very anxious, keyed up, weird, just wanted to crawl out of my skin, overstimulated, just very weird. It was I've never quite felt that way in my life, and I never want to again. I'm not sure which of the supplements it was. I was on the calming spray and the wake up energy spray and the adenosyl B12, which isn't recommended for me according to the test I'm going to recommend it for you guys. Anyway, I want to save you guys from all of that. I'm going to give you a clearer, easier way to do this, okay? MaxGen Labs is a small company. They don't share your information. They destroy it after they process it. They offer dietary options in the report. There's 3 different ones you can get. I wanted everything. I wanted to know what way I should be exercising. Do I have more type 1 or type 2 muscle fibers? I gained so much insight from my MaxGen report. They're basically like, here's the type of diet that's best suited for you. Here's where your risks are, spelled out in black and white. I didn't have to look through lists of SNPs and it's just like, here you are. Probably sensitive to gluten. I could have saved myself a lot of hours of research and confusion and money on supplements I didn't need had I started there. So now I'm ready to do my video on genetics, because now I have something that I feel confident in recommending that actually gave me insight into actionable tips I could take to improve my life based on my DNA. Let's take a look at my report. This is so cool. So I'm going to kind of blow through this quickly because there's so much information to cover. How I deal with carbohydrates. I'm not genetically sensitive, which is cool. No issues with diabetes. How I deal with fats. It's basically spells it out for me. Eat more polyunsaturated fats. Monounsaturated, it's not really going to do anything crazy like good for you. Eat your salmon. All right, cool. Gluten. Oh boy, do I wish this was out 20 years ago, because they spell this out for me. Potential for gluten intolerance. If you have symptoms, you might want to be proactive. Avoid gluten altogether. I have an increased risk for developing autoimmune GI disease with the consumption of gluten. Oh, they were so spot on with that. I'm going to go into weight loss, eating and genetics, and I have a lower resting metabolism. Vitamins. So I'm okay with vitamin E, C, B6, and B2. Good to know. Vitamin D. I have heterozygous SNPs with each of the vitamin D things that we're looking at here. So I do take vitamin D, and I have benefited a lot from it. What type of B12 should I be taking? Not adenosyl, like Amy Yasko's site told me to take. That really made me not feel good at all. So they're spot on here. Folate, Goes over MTHFR. I'm doing okay there. I should avoid synthetic folic acid, as should everybody. Then it goes over some inflammation and detoxification. I do have a mild increased sensitivity to pesticides. I need to eat organic. I'd say it's more than mild. I'm pretty sensitive to most chemicals. Also elevated estrogen, absolutely. I've already taken measures to detoxify excess estrogen. I'm probably APOE E2 or E4, so I'm at an increased risk for some cardiovascular things. Histamine. This is only checking for DAO and HNMT. Now I would like to, and then MAO, I'm okay there. But back to the histamine. Okay. So there are other reasons you might have a histamine issue that do not involve DAO, which I'm okay with here, and HNMT. So there are other pathways that break down histamine, and where I'm really failing, and this is actually from Ben Lynch's stretching report, because at the time I did my MaxGen report, they weren't testing for this NAT2. They will be in the future, but this is what is messing me up and causing my histamine issues. I'm not breaking it down. It's due to NAT2. So you're all set. If you get your MaxGen test, that is going to test for that, and it will detect that. But the one I took was saying, oh, your histamine is okay, because it wasn't screening for NAT2. And that is where I am failing, and that is also why I am a slow caffeine metabolizer, and why I'm a slow acetylator in general, and I'm at a higher risk for cancer, asthma, and neurological disorders. I really need to be careful and eat organic and avoid xenobiotics and just excess, any kind of chemicals. I need to be extra careful. Back to the MaxGen report. We're looking at COMT. I was okay there, but that can affect your dopamine and adrenaline and all. And here's the strength and endurance. So now we're getting into the exercise stuff. I have peak muscle power during instant movements. I'm a sprinter. So weight loss, exercise. I have an average chance of obesity. I may be able to lower body mass with exercise. I think that would probably apply to everybody. Fat loss, bone strength, muscle gains, kind of pretty generic stuff here. Cardiovascular response to exercise, my dog gagging in the background. Blood pressure response, cardiovascular health, so all kinds of cool stuff. Oh goodness, Lulu's got a vet appointment. She's got a little hacking cough. Lovely background sounds. Muscle cramping, soreness, and I do get muscle cramping and soreness. And here we have a lovely summary with everything spelled out for you, all in one place. And again, you see the histamine says normal because this particular test I did before they are adding the NAT2 was only testing for DAO and HNMT. Now it's going to be a little more comprehensive. It did detect that I have estrogen issues. And then we go over all the SNPs, and as you can see, I have so many variants. Like I have so many heterozygous SNPs, which is abnormal. Most people don't have as many, so I'm just a little bit wonky. What are you gonna do? I'm alive, I'm well, I feel great, but I do have to be very strict as far as avoiding chemicals and eating clean, and then it's fine. Life is good. So they just cover everything. There's the Max Food Report. And then go down, it's just all here. It's a higher potential for elite endurance. Cool. And then so here they go over the individual SNPs, each one, like the APOE that I was probably a 2 or a 4. They go over what does that mean? What does a CBS SNP mean? A COMT SNP. The cytochrome P450 family SNPs. They go into all of that. The DAO. Factor 5, which I had a mutation, so that's kind of scary. I don't like to dwell on that stuff. MTHFR is a big one. That's the one you always hear about, but there's so many of them, and you don't really need to get down into this. This gets more down and dirty into it, but it is there in case you're science minded and you like that kind of thing. Otherwise, just stick to the first part of it where it's got all the pretty pictures and nice, easy to read format, and just spells out everything all nice. I think this is a very well put together, awesome resource that could help just about anybody, and I'm really glad I had it done. So there it is. If you're interested in getting a MaxGen Labs report, I will put a link for you in the description below. I hope you found this video useful. If so, subscribe below. I do put out videos every Thursday, and if you want more recipes that never make it to YouTube or more inspiration like weekly grocery hauls, check me out on Patreon. There's a link below. $2 and up patrons get access to all of my back recipes up there, so there's over a dozen of them. Things like hot sauce and mustard and English muffins and Hibarito sandwich bread and piccata meatballs and all kinds of good stuff. It's worth it, and it helps to support the channel. I hope to see you soon, and until then, be healthy.